Big 12 teams this season. You see the points they've scored on average early in the year in November, and they are going to come out with a lot of grit and fight, I believe.
In Oral Roberts' 4 wins, they've scored just under 90 points a game. There are only 2 losses in the season to 2 other Big 12 teams in TCU and Oklahoma. The kids are ready for some fun as they get an excused absence from school today. Texas and Oral Roberts. Longhorns looking for their first 8-0 start in 8 seasons. As you just saw on the graphic, they've done it on both ends of the floor so far.
Just watch Oral Roberts. They move the ball very well. They attack the basket.
Charging call as Talia Jones, Oral Roberts' leading scorer, picks up the foul.
Well, Jones is that kind of player. She is capable of getting the ball to the rim or shooting outside. You see that Texas team defense starting up from the beginning.
Texas starting 5 includes Taylor Jones, getting her 6th straight start. Anisha Faye unavailable today in addition to Deanna Gaston. Madison Booker called for the travel. Turnovers by both our teams to begin play. It's an 11 a.m. tip. These teams not used to that. Early turnovers, including one for Vic Schaefer's squad.
We watched Texas come out in warm-ups after that pregame speech. They looked pretty fired up. They like nothing more than to get opposing teams in this situation where they're taking the ball out of bounds on the baseline. They can put that full court press on.
5-second violation, so 2 turnovers for Kelsey Music's Golden Eagles, her 2nd season as head coach at Oral Roberts. Brought in a lot of good newcomers. That has led to an improved start from last year. On the inbounds, Taylor Jones gets our game's first points, and Rory Harmon gets a tip for the inbounds pass, able to save it to Jones, who lays it in. What a play by Harmon, and Jones has 4 quick points for Texas.
Well, this is where Texas's defense can be electrifying, turning that defense into offense quickly.
Texas forcing 25 turnovers a game. They've already forced 3, and Booker gets the block of Ruthie Udomo. Amina Muhammad's first touch, but she gets it wrestled away by Udomo. Outlet to Jones. Harmon stays in front of her. Still Oral Roberts basketball. What a play by Rory Harmon on the other end for Texas.
Yeah, well, Texas defense has come out ready to play, and you see Rory Harmon's quickness, just able to go get a hand on that pass. And look at the presence of mind. That's where Rory has really excelled this year. She's finding her teammates.
Texas first in the nation in turnover margin coming in. That is 4 turnovers now on ORU as Udomo was called for the walk.
Well, good team defense for Texas early on, but also good individual defense. If you're guarding players that like to go one-on-one, you have to keep them in front of you.
A Texas team that was just dominant in all 3 games of the Paradise Jam. And last week, Taylor Jones has all 6 off the Booker assist. Lowest margin of victory for the Horns in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. 32-point win over South Florida Saturday. Hannah Cooper way off the mark. But Cooper inside misses her 2nd straight shot.
Yeah, Cooper would like to have that one back, I'm sure. Really good scorer for Oral Roberts. Look at the defense she put on right there.
Cooper knocks it away from Harmon, a steal.
When you see Oral Roberts come out, and they're going to get punched, but they're going to try to punch back in this game. A gritty, gritty team.
Cooper misfires, perhaps ORU's best all-around player, 2nd on the team in scoring coming in.
Yeah, a couple good looks for her early.
Pressure leads to another steal. This is Udomo, 2-on-1, and ORU on the board. Jones with a layup. Something we haven't seen much from Rory Harmon this season. Coming in the 7 wins, just 6 turnovers on the year.
And her last turnover was, I believe, 19 and a half quarters ago before this quarter. So she had gone quite a while without turnovers.
She did not commit a turnover at all in the Paradise Jam. Jones, the offensive rebound, and she'll go to the line.
Well, Rory Harmon has done a really great job of taking care of the basketball this year. Her early here, though, a little bit careless, and I think we're going to see a substitution here early on. Rare that we see Rory Harmon come out of a game. She's going to take a seat for a moment.
It's 2 early turnovers after none her previous 3 games. Shay Holly, senior from here in Austin, comes in. But you still see the improvement. Of course, she started last season banged up. but an assist-to-turnover ratio of almost 8 coming into this one today.
Yeah, the two things Rory Harmon worked on this summer was, one was her mentality coming into games, taking care of the ball, and two was her shot. Just needs to gain a little composure, take a second on the bench, and get back into this game.
It's Taylor Jones 7, Oral Roberts 2.
Oral Roberts loves to spread the floor. They'll play 4 out, 1 in, or 5 out even at times.
Emily Robinson for 3, well off the mark. Freshman coming in, one of ORU's leading scorers.
I've been impressed with the looks that Oral Roberts has had so far at the basket. They just haven't gone down.
Shea Holly's first shot connects. ORU in transition. Had a 2-on-1 momentarily, but Booker's able to get back and force the travel.
And that's 6 turnovers for Oral Roberts. Something that Coach Music, I'm sure, would like to have back is a couple of those basketballs. She talked about her team yesterday, and we saw her during practice, said, you know, we need to maintain our composure and handle this pressure. We can't have careless turnovers.
Booker fires, yes. First 2 points for the freshman.
Yeah, Booker has a chance now to be the backup point guard with Rory Harmon on the bench. She's a scorer.
And then Booker on the other end. Verticality straight up in the air, able to get the block of Udomo. Gonzalez feeds Muhammad inside. It's 13-2. Holly knocks the pass out of bounds. Another quick start for this Texas team. They had quick starts in all 3 wins last week, and really all year, of course, Andrea. We've seen this from the undefeated Longhorns.
I think Texas has just come out with a lot of energy defensively throughout this, of course, the first 7 games, and they have depth. So Vic Schaefer can go to his bench and has options.
Robinson tries another 3. Misfires for the second time. Offensive rebound, Udomo. Megan Weinbridge doubled. Feeds Robinson, who tries again, short.
Another good look right there.
Longhorns 6 field goals, 5 assists so far in the early going. Booker tries it herself and connects for the second time.
We've had a chance to talk about Madison Booker quite a bit. She is a special freshman out there.
Preseason Big 12 Freshman of the Year, coming in averaging just under 10 points a game. Udomo from the free throw line connects.
Again, terrific job by Oral Roberts to spread the floor, share the basketball, find an open player. That one goes down.
Udomo averaging 11 points a game, 5th on this ORU squad.
And I think she's somebody that has experience playing in an atmosphere like this, isn't intimidated.
Well, the kids have enjoyed it so far. So is Taylor Jones with 7 early points. Texas up 11 early. And the Longhorns defeated their 3 opponents by an average of 45 points a game. Jones, 11 points a contest. Rory Harmon, the tournament MVP, did not commit a turnover in the 3 games. And a huge story, Aaliyah Moore coming back almost a full year removed from her injury, able to play in the last 2 games for Texas.
It's been great to see Aaliyah Moore back out there. Not on the floor as of yet. Texas continues with its starting lineup minus Rory Harmon out there, but we will see her today. The foul is called on the inside.
Sarah Rodriguez, grad student from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Moore in the 2 games scored 17 points, 7 of 9 from the floor.
I love the fact that her teammates were so excited to have her back out on the floor. We saw her post-game interview. We saw her in the game playing with a tremendous amount of energy. She's been chomping at the bit to get back.
Yeah, 11 months removed again from that injury, almost a full 12. Jones double team, finds Muhammad, who drives to the rim and gets fouled.
You know, that's a really nice job by Taylor Jones. If I was guarding Taylor Jones, I would make her pass the ball or catch the ball outside the paint. She has been just dominant in the paint. She's scoring 13 points in the paint per game and shooting 82%. You can't let her get easy catches. Look at the double coming down, makes it tough for her to see, have vision, gets the ball to Muhammad, who's able to make a play right there. Terrific job on defense. Just Texas managed to get out of that situation.
But Amina Muhammad, the sophomore coming in, leads Texas in fouls drawn. 26 fouls drawn, and we're just early in game 8. What's led over and above that to her improvement this season, averaging almost 10 points a game?
I think part of it is just improving, having an off season, going from a freshman to sophomore year. The second part is injuries. She has had a lot of playing time, leads the team in playing time, in fact, at that 4 position.
Also team's leading rebounder. Booker called for the foul, and that's her first.
Well, Muhammad has had a real opportunity to get extended minutes this year and in a starting position. See her right there, number 14. She's got that length to guard from 1 to 5 on the against any single team, and she's just really improved, I think, offensively.
Still ORU ball. At halftime of the season opener against Southern, Muhammad already had her first double-double.
Yeah, she's a tremendous rebounder, and I think really active defensively. The bonus has been her offense this season.
Earl Roberts, just 2 of 11 shooting, and Texas has forced 6 Golden Eagle turnovers in the early going. Sarah Rodriguez fires the 3. Robinson gets the tip back to Rodriguez, stretch 20. Rodriguez drives on Jones. Muhammad came to help, a block, but the follow by Udomo, her second field goal.
Yeah, those two in the game at the same time. I think Udomo and Rodriguez, they both can play on the interior or exterior, and that's a tough matchup. You got to box people out, though, especially Udomo.
Holly finds Jones inside, nicely done, and Jones has 4 field goals already. Team's really pushing the pace so far as we expected, and Hannah Cooper draws the foul on Shaylee Gonzalez.
Terrific job here. We talked about this dribble drive offense we have throughout the career of Vic Schaefer's time here and then, at Texas, but Holly does a nice job of reading the defense, getting the ball to the player who's shifting to the other side.
Hannah Cooper, ORU's best all-around player, team leader in assists and free throw attempts, second on the team in scoring, and a great sight for the first time at home in almost a year. We're about to see Aaliyah Moore step into the floor at the Moody Center.
Oh, and she is now the player that will come in and give Taylor Jones a bit of rest. Welcome back, Aaliyah Moore. We saw her a year ago on the floor against Alabama State, tear her ACL. She has worked extremely hard to get back and game ready for this Texas team.
Played 9 games last season, 11 points a contest as Muhammad muscles up Jones for 2.
And a steal by Rory Harmon, who's back in the game.
Harmon gets her first 2 off the steal. It's all Texas in the early going. And the dive by Moore, her first touch. Almost a steal, still ORU ball.
Well, I'm sure Rory Harmon, after some time on the bench, is coming back in with renewed interest after this terrific shot by Muhammad. You see Texas there, how quickly they pick up defensively after a make. Just makes it so difficult for opposing teams to get the ball inbound. And by the way, if you expected Aaliyah Moore to be timid out here because she hasn't been back for a while, think again.
Well, first time she stepped on the floor in the Virgin Islands, she got a steal and a bucket. Now her first touch offensively, splitting 2 defenders. Muhammad skies, or rather that was Hartman trying to sky for the rebound, and the whistle blows.
Well, here's Aaliyah Moore. Last week when she got into the game, you see her right here as she's highlighted, and opportunistic. Hey, why not? But look at her outrun the opposition. This is a young lady that's in probably the best shape of her career since she's been at Texas. Been hampered a little bit with injuries as a freshman, sophomore, even out of high school. She had a hip injury, so I think she's feeling pretty good right now. Adds a different dimension for Vic Schaefer, her ability to play inside and outside.
You saw her first bucket, that was against High Point on Friday. 6 straight points for Moore. That steal and bucket started it. 13 points overall in 11 minutes.
Well, she's dynamic. I think that's a player that once she has the ball in her hands, she is so skilled at making things happen. You see her now, she'll get a chance at the free throw line.
So Udomo just picked up her second, and before that, Talia Jones, ORU's leading scorer, picking up her second foul. Free throws have been a struggle for Texas this season, hitting just under 62% as a squad coming in.
I think free throws is something Texas needs to clean up. They haven't been challenged as of yet, so free throws have not hurt them in any close games. But if you look back even to that UConn game last season, Roy Harmon wasn't playing, but Texas shot just 50% from the free throw line. I think they went 10 for 20 in that game. Free throws will get you in close games.
UConn here Sunday, part of the Jimmy V Classic. That's a 2 o'clock Central tip. Tough outlet. Robinson gets the steal, and then Gonzalez takes the ball right back. 3-on-1. Holly in the air. Gonzalez there to follow. 26-7, but ORU will push the pace all game. Robinson still off the board, but a foul on the rebound.
Odomu has just been all over the place, I think, rebounding-wise. A little bit undersized, just 6'1", but we talked to Coach about her. Did I hear her right to say that she started at the 2 position last year for Oral Roberts and now has moved to the 5 position just because of the needs of the team? And that's a pretty special player that can do that kind of thing.
There's much better depth on this Oral Roberts squad. Hannah Cooper is about to trigger the inbound, scored over 20 points a game last season. She's down to 13.5, but that's not because she struggled. It's just simply because the newcomers around her are able to produce offensively. Jones, Texas Arlington transfer, Robinson, a freshman, Ashlyn Sage, Arkansas transfer, and Jaylee Oglesby transfer as well.
Changing the ball out there. The officials were having a conversation with the point guards over there. Always good to go to your point guard who's probably doing most of the dribbling if there's a ball problem. You know what? I'll tell you, I played with Cammie Etheridge, whose jersey is up in the stands, and Cammie Etheridge would pick the game ball. She would go through every single ball on the rack and pick the game ball to have the exact right ball.
Well, let's see if that makes a difference here. Texas of 19, 8 minutes in. Jones gets inside Holly and connects.
Really, really nice offense. Again, spreading Texas out, just getting a dribble into the middle of the lane and opening up a shooter.
Chekalenga Mwinintanda on the floor. Mwinintanda's first shot. Backdoor feed, reverse, Udomo up to 6 points.
Yeah, nice shot by Robinson. It seems like sometimes when ODU gets the ball inside in the paint that they're maybe struggling. They don't know what they're going to do, but that is part of their game plan. Make the defense collapse and find the open shooter or cutter.
Under a minute to go, first quarter. Muhammad. Moore is there.
Yeah, Moore just overpowered Sage on the inside.
Texas hitting over 70% of its shots. And Harmon wrestled the ball away, yet it's off Cooper last.
Yeah, and just watch how Oral Roberts gets to the inside the middle of the lane, and their teammates of the ball handler just keep moving, and that's what Jones did on that. Was that Jones going backdoor or Odomu going backdoor? But they move so well without the basketball.
Moore splits the double, can't get the roll.
That basket didn't go. If there's one thing, though, that Texas does better than they have ever done for Vic Schaefer is play at the post position. Multiple options, people that can play back to the basket and put so much pressure on the defense.
Udomo finds Weinrich, short. 8 seconds for Texas to get the final shot of the quarter. Harmon pulls up. And that'll do it in quarter number 1. Over 13 points and able to chip in the win Saturday over South Florida to give Texas the Paradise Jam title.
Yeah, and this is a young lady that I think is the glue to this Texas team. Her attitude and energy is contagious out there. So important for her to be a part of this team. If you remember, she was number 7 overall player coming out of her class a couple of years ago.
Vic Schaefer says we'll keep track of her minutes today. She remains on the floor more. Played the last 3 minutes of quarter number 1. With Andrea Lloyd, I'm David Salzman. 40 Acres Field Trip Day from the Moody Center. Plenty of elementary and junior high students from the Austin area here. Muhammad, Harmon finds her, 2 and a foul.
And that's 20 points in the paint for Texas here today. We were talking just a second ago, no threes for Texas in this game. 20 of their 30 points coming in the paint. You see Muhammad's been a big part of that. And there's Zach Zellner. Just have to bring him up. You know, Zach Zellner did a terrific job with, he does a terrific job with everybody that's injured and also the healthy players for Texas as the weight and conditioning coach. But especially with Aaliyah Moore, Zach Zellner was actually injured at the same time. He ruptured his Achilles about a month before Amo got hurt last year. And I talked to him earlier today, and he was saying how much they helped each other. They challenged each other. They would work at it every single day. I think Amo gives a lot of credit to him for getting her ready as well.
Feed inside of Weinrich, who draws the foul. Foul on the other end was on Sarah Rodriguez for third. She remains on the floor.
Can I just say this to Zach Zellner? He's planning to run in the marathon,
really?
Austin Marathon, this next, I think it's in the winters in February, I believe.
And as you mentioned, Aaliyah Moore mentioned him personally in the post-game interview. Without him, I don't come back so soon. Under a year removed from that knee injury. ORU players will hear it from all the kids here when they're at the line. Megan Weinrich from Willows, California, population 6,000, about an hour-and-a-half drive north of Sacramento.
What a great addition she's been to Oral Roberts this season. A gritty player. Coach was telling us we call her the pig farmer. Not that she has a pig farm, but that she works with pigs back in California. So anybody that has a farm or works with animals knows that it takes early mornings, long days.
Yeah, this 11 a.m. tip, nothing for her.
Yeah.
Steal Udomo. Again, ORU pushing.
Boy, just a lot of open looks for Oral Roberts. That one goes down. They were shooting about 25%, I think, at the end of the first quarter. Got a couple of baskets here to go early in the second.
Jelly Oglesby off the bench, averaging 13 points a game. Hands her first shot of the day.
Oglesby is aggressive. I think that's the one thing about Kelsey Music is she has really done a terrific job of letting her players have freedom. They run that dribble drive and motion offense, and you have to be able to just play a little basketball and knock down a shot when it comes to it.
Harmon. Jones tips the ball herself, and the follow. She's in double figures.
Yeah, come on. That's just great work by Taylor Jones on the inside. She doesn't have her usual partner that splits time with her, with Hadi Faye on the bench today with a shoulder injury. But now that Moore is back, she's able to come in and split time. See her size. She's just a load to handle in there. That 6'5" frame.
What do you make of this lineup with Jones, Monintonda, and Moore on the floor at the same time?
Well, Monintonda played at the 3 position last year, and actually a couple years ago, Moore was practicing at the 3 position so Vic Schaefer could go with a bigger lineup. So Aaliyah Moore can play from the 3 to the 4 to the 5, and certainly Monintonda has gotten some time at the 4 this year, played the 3 last year. That's a big lineup, though.
33-15 the Texas lead with UConn to come here at the Moody Center Sunday afternoon. Monintonda got the block off Oglesby, and Moore with the basketball.
Monintonda has got some length, and she is playing with a lot of confidence this year.
Harmon on the speed in the finish, her second field goal.
She just had radar on right there, went to the basket hard.
Lead up to 20. And Jones stepped out of bounds, a turnover.
Monterey Harmon, she's like a guided missile right here. She just is determined to get down the floor, beat the defense, and make a basket. It's been kind of a bit of a rough start for Rory in the first quarter. Certainly had those 2 turnovers early, missed a few shots.
Still on 2 turnovers and just 8 on the season. She came in second in the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio.
Well, she's playing with a little bit of a different speed right now here in the second quarter.
Madison Booker connects.
Such a smooth shot, such a scorer. What a great asset she is. Can play pretty much 1 to the 3 or 4 position. I'm really impressed with her offensive skills.
Longhorns up to 62% shooting. Another backdoor feed, but Harmon was there to cut off the Weinwitz drive, and it leads to the turnover.
Yeah, it led to a turnover, but Texas got a little lucky right there. See Rory Harmon with her head down. She puts her nose in places she probably shouldn't at times. Certainly a terrific defender that is the catalyst for this Texas defense.
It's 11 Oral Roberts turnovers now. Coming in, Texas forcing 25 turnovers a game.
And they had 9 turnovers in the first half.
Moore can't get the roll. And a foul on Jones.
Look at Young get up for her rebounds. I mean, 6'1", she has certainly got some hops right out there. That's something you have to do if you're going to play against this Texas team. They are really dominant on the boards. You have to box out, you have to rebound with them and battle in the paint.
Gentry Baldwin handling the basketball, freshman from Bixby, Oklahoma.
Look at the focus Shea Holly has on the ball handler. It's her job to keep Jones out of the paint. It's a tough job.
Jones gets the ball back open for 3.
Again, wide open look for Oral Roberts.
They're running good stuff. A question of hitting more of those open looks.
Well, Texas has to keep the ball handler in front of them so that they're not having to have help from their teammates. But this is a tough thing. You look at that, you have Taylor Jones at the 5 position, now switched off onto a guard, onto Oglesby, who can knock that down. That's a mismatch.
First 3 by either team. Harmon works on Oglesby, fades away, gets the roll. Vic Schaefer calls her the best point guard in the country. She's up to 6 points today. Jones.
Impressive offense. I really am impressed with Oral Roberts, how they move the ball, how they find each other.
Team, even in their losses, they put up 74 in Norman. They lost to Oklahoma earlier this season. Oral Roberts comes in, winners of 3 straight. Madison Booker, 2 more, up to 8.
The difference right now is Texas is shooting 62% and Oral Roberts is shooting just 26% and has those now 12 turnovers.
Moore wants to finish it off, but she took an extra step. The kids, Leah Moore at 7. Chekalinga one in Tonda, 10 years old. So the player to wait the longest before touching a basketball, and she's on the floor now looking to trap, but a foul called. Andrea Lloyd, I'm David Salzman. Texas is led from the opening tip, looking to go 8-0 for the first time in 8 seasons with UConn here at the Moody Center Sunday afternoon. Steal on the inbounds. That's Shaylee Gonzalez who gets her first 2, rather her second field goal.
And a foul call down there. It's been a battle right now between Cooper and Rory Harmon at the point guard position, those two. I think that foul was called on Rory Harmon, just holding a little bit after the player was trying to get open on the out of bounds.
It's just her 7th foul all season and her first today. Oof. Jones gets the block of Oglesby. Cooper makes the tough catch, unable to finish. Rebound tipped, however, to Weinrich, and a fresh 20 for ORU.
Yeah, these offensive rebounds are starting to stack up and giving Oral Roberts extra opportunities. 8 offensive rebounds. Also tires Texas out a little bit. They have to play defense longer, which is something they haven't necessarily had to do due to the schedule this year for Texas.
Jaylee Oglesby off the bench, 7 points this quarter.
And that's the luxury of having 10 new players into your system this year for Oral Roberts.
Texas led by 17 after the first quarter, outscoring ORU by 6 in quarter number 2. Hannah Cooper's been scoreless today, and she throws it away. Came in averaging 13.5 a game. Harmon finds Gonzalez, 2 more.
Again, defense making offense happen here for Texas. That's where they've been at their best, I think. That in their inside game.
Oglesby looks for 2 more, that time well off.
Roberts getting Texas into defensive rotation, getting themselves good looks.
Gonzalez drives again. You mentioned Udomo quite a bit. She's had a solid first half, comes away with a rebound.
She rebounds the ball extremely well. And again, her versatility out there, her athleticism.
just tough for ORU to try to get by these Texas defenders, although a foul call late in the shot clock. That's Buenatana's third.
I don't think Vic Schaefer is very happy right now between the turnovers for Texas with 8 already here in the first half, and also the foul situation. I think one of the big keys for him coming into this game is how do you guard the Oral Roberts players one-on-one. You can't make your other teammates have to help too much. Then you're going to allow open shots. That's exactly what Oral Roberts has done. It's sort of picked apart the quarter court defense of Texas today.
Still, ORU limited to 21 points late in the first half. Scored 90 a game in their 4 wins. And that's what Kelsey Music promised when she came to ORU from Southwestern Oklahoma State Division II program, which was top 10 in D2, 7 of the last 9 seasons in scoring before Music made the move to Oral Roberts. You see Texas doing awfully well from the field today. That'll improve on their 62% shooting as Madison Booker is in double figures.
Yeah, she's just such a difficult guard with her size at 6'1", her handles. Not like her offensive mindset. I mean, she's a young lady that can really hurt you.
Gentry Baldwin's first 3 of the day, 4th of the season.
Texas without a 3-pointer shot yet today.
Gonzalez turns it over. Cooper challenges Muhammad. Still off the scoreboard. A foul on the rebound as Muhammad had the ball in her hand. She'll go to the line.
Well, good job by Muhammad to hold down the fort right there, because there were 4 jerseys right there that were blue, and Muhammad the only one back.
Udoma picks up her third. Rather inbounds coming for Texas. Texas looking to improve their mark to 8-0. Holding ORU to just 24 points so far. The margin of victory in their first 7 games coming in, 43. Robinson anticipated the pass, comes away with the steal.
One of the things that Oral Roberts does really well is they rotate well, they scramble on defense really well, they help each other.
Oglesby pulls up. Taylor Jones quietly up to 8 rebounds. Holly over Jaylee Oglesby. Holly's second field goal.
Holly, as usual, hustling down the floor. She is quick down the floor.
Cooper remains scoreless. Robinson the offensive board. Approaching 1 minute remaining in the first half.
Good job again, with 7 on the shot clock for Oral Roberts.
Charging call.
Well, Shea Holly, just fix it out there. Shea Holly comes off the bench as the 9th leading scorer. We were talking about that, but plays the 3rd most minutes.
Actually get the foul on Weinrich, her first. And we're at 1 minute remaining in the first half. Another tough feed and another turnover. So how much is this? 11 turnovers now. How much of this is ORU's defense versus just not taking care of the basketball well enough?
Well, Texas has faced pretty much zone in the first 7 games. They've seen some man-to-man, but this is a pretty tough defensive team in Oral Roberts. They play well together. They help each other, and I think it's a little frustrating and causing turnovers for Texas. We talked about them being gritty. We're seeing that here in the first half, despite the fact that they haven't shot the ball well.
And ORU coming in was forcing 21 turnovers a game. They're about on that pace. Booker. Oglesby gets inside Muhammad. Jones there for another rebound, and the shot clock off.
Boy, Texas has been really, really lucky that Oral Roberts hasn't been able to knock down some of these transition opportunities, some of their open looks.
Despite the turnovers, Texas go over 50 in the first half with a bucket here. 6 seconds. Holly gets the roll.
How about Shea Holly off the bench, making an impact. Attention to taking care of the ball. It's more of a mental thing than anything else.
Oral Roberts gets the ball first. Rory Harmon gets the steal right away off the inbounds. As we've begun half number 2, it leads to the Shaylee Gonzalez layup. We have a clock issue. The clock says 14 minutes, 52 seconds. This is not football. It's the perfect place to watch a volleyball game because no matter where you are at, even if you're at the highest row, you are right on top of the action.
Yeah, and to show my age, it's actually nice that it's air conditioned too. Not maybe this time of year since it's about 50 outside in Austin, but back in the day, which we won't define, no air conditioning.
You're not too far off me. I paid for the fees that helped improve Gregory Gym, and then when they were done, I graduated, and they wouldn't let me in. I didn't have my student ID. Wasn't a student anymore. All right, the clock is right. 9:38 to go in the second half, and Taylor Jones continues her solid play. You mentioned the double-double in the first half, and she's up to 13 points this afternoon.
On a perfect pass. We talk about the turnovers. You have to talk about good decisions right there by Gonzalez, who got the ball in the perfect spot.
Ruthie Udomo.
She's a monster on the boards.
Yeah, and I was about to say, as she leads Oral Roberts to retain possession, maybe the best first half of any Golden Eagle, 6.6 boards.
Well, and she's just so active. I mean, you cannot take your eyes off of her. You have to box her out. She makes things happen out there.
Head coach Kelsey Music says she does just a lot of the little things for us, and we have witnessed that this afternoon.
Yeah, tough day for Cooper thus far. She is usually such a solid scorer. 5'7", certainly somebody that can fill up the basket in a lot of different ways and just hasn't been able to get the ball to go down.
Oh, behind the back, Gonzalez into the paint, off the window.
Yeah, that's textbook counter move right there for Shaylee Gonzalez. Really nice job that the defense was cheating and switching. Just going the other direction, going right down the lane. Quiet 10 points, the sixth-year graduate from Gilbert, Arizona. Miscommunication with Udomo and Cooper. Turnover, Oral Roberts. Yeah, watch this. There's a switch right here. She has this lane right there to go straight down the lane as the defense jumps out in the switch. You see the angle here again. Pretty behind the back. You know what? That's where Shaylee Gonzalez is really at her best. We've seen her shoot the three quite a bit here at Texas. At BYU, she didn't shoot the three that much. She had the ball in her hands a lot. Was a mid-range type of player. Harmon short. Gonzalez is approaching 2,100 points in her career. She's 6th among active D1 players. Another ORU turnover. 2 straight right there for Cooper as well. And it's been fun watching Roy Harmon and Hannah Cooper go at each other today. Cooper needs to take care of that basketball, give her team a chance to make some shots. I mean, this is all about execution if you're Oral Roberts. I mean, you come out here to try to win the game, but with the Texas team who has depth, size in the paint, you're just kind of overmatched. You need to take care of yourself in a game like this. Turn the ball over less. Now that Taylor Jones is fully healthy, because she did go through some injury issues last season, you saw the movement there without the ball, and at 6'4", catching the ball with easy position for the layup. Well, you're also seeing a team that, with Vic Schaefer, has been able to add more to the repertoire when it comes to offensive sets. In the first couple of years, you're trying to develop your system and teach the dribble drive. You see a great shot right there by Jones from the perimeter. But I think Vic Schaefer now he can do a lot more things with the players, the pieces he has on the floor. He can move them around, get good shots for them, mix it up. Booker, 2 more. It's just like nonchalant out there. It's just nothing for her. Got a great release on her shot. Gonzalez gets the steal. Texas will slow it down. To your point about the depth, as Booker connects on the three, first three-point attempt for Texas today is a bucket. Shea Holly is about to check into the next whistle. She's 9th on the team in scoring at 7 a game as Jones gets 2 more for ORU. And then, of course, you have Aaliyah Moore getting back in action. Deanna Gaston, we expect to see her, not sure when, but at some point this year. I mean, the depth of this team can be as good as we've seen here on the 40 acres in some time. Yeah, not to mention Hattie Faye, who's not in the game today because of a shoulder injury sustained, I believe, on Saturday in that final game. And you look at the balance of scoring for Texas, it makes it hard on opponents. I think it's actually harder on Vic Schaefer. Like, how do you figure out how to use all of these pieces, when to sub people in and sub people out? You see him talking to Rory Harmon to Shaylee Gonzalez. I mean, he's a perfectionist. He knows what he's about to face on Sunday, and then knows that UConn will be watching this game, trying to pick Texas apart, find their weaknesses.
How many years has it been since we could say about UConn, maybe a team looking to prove itself? I mean, they're 4-2, coming off a loss to UCLA in their NTE last week. They are still UConn, but again, coming off 2 losses in November, which we're, of course, not used to seeing.
Well, the last time we said this is when Paige Beckers was injured, and the team struggled a lot to recover, figure out how to play without Paige Beckers. Now Beckers is back, and with AZ Fudd injured and some other injuries, it's been getting used to each other, I think, for Gino Ariema's squad.
Oral Roberts, no answer for Taylor Jones. Udomo is able to get ahead of the defense for the transition too, but Jones up to 19 points. She's a perfect 8 of 8 from the floor. Shea Holly. Jones, another rebound and 2 more.
Yeah, you saw that coming if you were watching only Jones on that play. As soon as that ball went up, you see Jones get her hip into her defensive player and just get her under the basket so she has good rebounding position.
Reaches 4 off her career high, and we're approaching the 6-minute mark in the 3rd. Jones, that's Talia Jones for 3. Taylor Jones has another rebound.
Yeah, that is such pretty offense, though. A really textbook job of getting the ball into the paint, collapsing the defense, relocating, finding the open player.
Muhammad finds Jones. She remains perfect, and a foul.
Well, Taylor Jones has just gotten so accustomed on this dribble drive offense to be able to make plays like that. But look at her right here. You see Jones right here. Now just watch. She will get her butt into her defensive player, and you know, hey, that's my kind of player right there. Shove them under the basket if you can get away with it. Gives herself great position. And then this is just textbook dribble drive right there as the ball goes down the lane on one side. Jones repositions to the other side. That little lob pass that Texas has perfected.
The 23 points coming in 21 minutes. And coming in, Jones leading the team in scoring at 16 points a game, but in just 18 minutes a contest. I'll get Booker for the foul, going for the rebound.
Jones will come out of the game right now, and I think that's what you'll see from Taylor Jones, and that's why she's starting. She's very efficient. She's been terrific on the inside, finishing inside. She feels really good this year, but 20-25 minutes, it's about what Taylor Jones is going to be required to play probably for most of the season because of the options Vic Schaefer has.
Gisela Moll on the floor for the first time, wearing number 21, freshman from Cedar Park, Texas. Emily Robinson gets her first 2. Pitched a no-hitter in softball in the state title game. She's a true freshman from Bachito, Oklahoma, but also a great player on the basketball floor. Aaliyah Moore forces the tie-up.
Good job again by Rodriguez there in that situation of getting that tie-up. I think this is an interesting lineup for Texas. You know, maybe a lineup that hasn't played much together because obviously Aaliyah Moore hasn't been on the floor until last week.
Talia Jones wrestled the ball away, leads to the turnover. Or you would numbers. Jones gets around Booker, draws the foul. Talia for the game about all the kids being here, saying how every step you make, every effort you have on the floor, it has an influence on these kids because many kids, they're going to go home, they're going to tell their families about it, and many will want to come back to watch Texas, and many will be inspired to try to be like a lot of these players and play basketball at such a high level. Rare 3-point attempt today off the mark by Harmon. Texas retains possession. And we saw the very beginning of our broadcast today, Coach Aiden. He gave the speech to the Texas team before the game began. Vic Schaefer was inspired. The players were inspired. He visited us before the game, too. I think he might have been a little overwhelmed by it all, but knows he did a great job.
Yeah, I think it's exciting that Texas has done something like that as far as getting young people involved. There's also a number of drawings that we see up on the big board here that the youngsters have done. Obviously at school preparing for this. Shot clock at 3.
Harmon gets it off, but short. 76-38, the Texas lead. Robinson able to get to the rim and scores.
ORU just continues to attack, I think, and try to keep their head up, make good plays, stay within themselves. Texas continues to have some breakdowns, I think. I think Texas's first team is pretty good defensively. Once you start putting subs in, I think these players need a little bit more time to play together and not make mistakes.
In the preseason, Kelsey Music would get her team to practice as Cooper's drawn or called for the charge, but she'd get the team together at 6 a.m. and tell them not just to run but to sprint, sometimes off and on.
Point guard in America, because nobody does what she does defensively, and very few players with her size get in there, get their nose in the middle of things, and are willing to go in the paint, rebound the basketball, and then she just has to run the team, you know, things like that.
Taylor Jones with position again. She has been dominant in the paint today, as has Rory Harmon on both ends of the floor.
Oh, Rory is extremely quick out there, and she's worked at her game over the course of the last couple of years. You see her quickness, her ability to defend, get in the right position. I don't think I've seen somebody pick up Vic Schaefer's defense as quickly as she did as a freshman, and really does a nice job with her on-the-ball defense. Very hard to score or even dribble the ball easily against her.
Mentioned the 4 steals to give her 24 on the season. That leads the Big 12. Came into this contest second in the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio. She was the MVP of the Paradise Gym in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands last week. Taylor Jones up to 25 points. That ties a career high.
The career high was earlier this season for Taylor Jones, so you can see she's very consistent out there.
Wild shot to Leah Jones, and Taylor Jones comes up with another rebound.
2 more rebounds, and Taylor Jones might have a 20-29. You can see Rory Harmon slicing her way to the rim.
Well, she's 1 assist away from a double-double. 6 rebounds as well. It is 80-40. Texas doubling up ORU, and Ntanda comes away with the block. Jones looking for a new career high. She remains perfect from the floor. She has 11 of 11 and 27 points.
Look at Texas also protecting the rim between Muhammad and Taylor Jones inside.
This time Maul gets her first 2, getting ahead of the ORU defense. What are your thoughts on this freshman from Cedar Park, Texas? Top 40 recruit by ESPN, but there's such good depth on this squad. Where can Maul fit in as the season goes along? Well,
I think it's important for Maul to get playing time, as you see the bank shot right there from the top, and Cooper shakes her head a bit. It's been a tough day for her. You talk about Maul, she can shoot the basketball, shot very well from 3 in the Virgin Islands. She gets moments to be out there on the floor. I think part of the thing for her right now is just being frustrated because her quickness hasn't returned from that devastating knee injury she had in high school.
Oglesby picks up the foul. Maul skipped her senior season at Cedar Park to enroll here at Texas. Won back-to-back state titles there beforehand. She's part of a good young group, in addition to the experience back from last season when Texas got a 4 seed but fell to Louisville in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Of course, they have a women's basketball dinner before the season began, and the common theme was this team did not forget not just the loss, but how they lost. Louisville dominated them, and how it gave them extra motivation in the offseason to turn that around, not just make it to the Sweet 16, but potentially go deeper. And they're on their way to 8-0 for the first time in 8 years.
Sometimes it takes a little bit of pain, I think, to have the right kind of attitude when it comes into a season. Long season, it's a haul. Right now, it can be a little bit difficult. As you see another steal from Rory Harmon. Look at her get the ball up at net.
Outlet to Maul. Maul has 2 more. Double-double for Harmon. That's her 12th assist, and already in double figures in scoring. Oglesby gets the bounce. 88 points by Texas as we're about to end the 3rd quarter. Time for one final shot. Moore with position. And that'll do it in the 3rd quarter of play. All Texas and all Taylor Jones, Andrea, for a lot of help, as the Horns already have 88 through 3 quarters. Texas 65% shooting in the 3rd quarter, 15 of 23 on way to those 37 points.
And that's been part of the struggle for Oral Roberts here today. As you see a easy layup right there, an uncontested, one of few, but Oral Roberts shooting just 34% on the game today. They had a lot of good looks, I thought, in the first half. This second half, Texas's size has really bothered them at the rim.
ORU came in winners of 3 straight, 4-2 overall. Their 2 losses to other Big 12 schools in TCU and Oklahoma.
Nice box out right there. Oral Roberts has been intentional about that today.
Taylor Jones on the bench as the 4th quarter has begun. And a hold. They'll get Muhammad for the foul. It's an ORU team in the Summit League, picked to finish 5th before Dakota schools picked above them. It's been 2013, the last time ORU made the NCAA tournament, 10 years. Played here in Austin in the 2005 NCAAs. Texas knocked them out in the 1st round. Tough shot, and Sarah Rodriguez has her first 2 points.
Yeah, Rodriguez going up strong there. She has really been solid for them on the interior. I think she's going to be a great player. She's from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Vic Schaefer calls an early timeout in the 4th as ORU has the first 4 points of the quarter. 39-point Texas lead early 4th quarter. Taylor Jones is 11 of 11 from the floor. That ties a Texas record for the most field goals made without a miss in a game. The 27 points, a career high. Officially 15 boards, ties a career high for the senior from Forney, Texas.
Yeah, another post player that was very good for Texas. Kelsey Lang did that quite a few years ago in 2016.
And as we look at numbers, Rory Harmon's 2 rebounds away from a triple-double. Foul called on Jay Holly going after the basketball.
Yeah, we continue to see Oral Roberts battle out there. Impressive the way they have kept their confidence up and played really, really hard. And again, they sprint down the floor. This hustle by Rory, it is often that Rory Harmon is making a play at one end and then at the other end making a play. Cooper with that little up and under there. The lid's coming off a little for her.
First 6 points of the quarter for ORU. That's what led to the early 4th quarter timeout by Vic Schaefer just a moment ago. Harmon finds Aaliyah Moore.
But I tell you what, Talea Jones is quick defensively, but Harmon just blew by her on that play right there.
Her 13th assist.
Here's Rory again pushing tempo.
Moore, 2nd chance, 3rd chance. That's the charm.
Making her work for it out there.
Talea Jones buries the 3.
Pretty shot out there. Talea Jones got that range to her game.
Well, you can tell, you mentioned it multiple times how these players play for their head coach in Kelsey Music. Talked about how they would have to run sprints at 6 a.m. before the season began. You could see the conditioning already early in the season paying off in the 4th as Shayla Gonzalez adds to her point total. And another timeout call. 1:08 to go in the 4th quarter. Of course, UConn is here on Sunday. Team that Texas has never defeated in 10 tries, 2 o'clock Central on ABC. Part of the Jimmy V Classic. If Texas is to pull off the win, what's the first thing they must do well, Andrew?
Defend the shooters, I think, for UConn. I think Texas last year, that was one of their weak points, is finding shooters and really good shooters, finding open shots. AZ Fudd had 32 against Texas. It'll be a different game this year. It was a close game last year in Stores. Remember, Rory Harmon didn't play in that game. She sat the first 5 games of the season with a toe injury. So I think there's a lot more ball handlers, playmakers for Texas this year. But UConn is UConn, and they have a swagger about them. They have great personnel. They will battle in the middle with the bigs that Texas has.
The noise from the 4,000 students here, maybe a little too much for Deanna Gaston, but Talia Jones wasn't bothered. So Texas begins December with UConn here Sunday. They end December 30th, the Big 12 opener against Baylor, who has started off the season really well.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see kind of the top 25 this year. Baylor moving up in ranks after that win against Utah earlier this season. I think Baylor's really good. They're a team that's there's going to be some epic battles with Texas.
Nice shot by Jones as she continues to add to her point total. She's up to 20.
But also take a look at Kansas State. Beat Iowa earlier, was in the rematch, loss to Iowa in another close game. They are a very good team with Aoka Lee back in the lineup.
Aaliyah Moore gets the layup. Between the UConn and Baylor games, road games at Arizona and UTRGV, Jackson State here December 27th. Talia Jones remains hot, came in the team's leading scorer, and a career high in an ORU uniform for her. She's a UTA transfer.
And got a little bit of confidence when Ntanda sagging off of her, even though she's very long on the perimeter defensively. Had enough room. Well, needs to recognize the double team. That's the one thing with her not playing for the last 11 months or so, is just those little things like seeing the floor, finding open teammates, understanding when there's a double team. That'll take her a little bit of time.
Texas, in their 3 wins at the Paradise Jam last week, allowed an average of 42 points a game. The 61 by ORU is just 3 off the most Texas has allowed in a game this season, and their 110-64 win over UT Arlington on November the 14th. Dana Codio, sophomore from Winter Garden, Florida, in when Ntanda will go to the bench.
Big Schaefer following her down on the bench, talking about, I'm sure, about the defense on that play. This has been a gritty team out here for Oral Roberts today. Again, they share the ball, they play well together. There's Vic Schaefer. It's always tough when your coach is following you down the bench as you come out.
Can't imagine that happened to you too many times during your career here.
I hated that. You just sit as far down as you can. But no, they always keep the spot right next to them for you to sit down, and you can't get away.
How about another factor coming into the UConn game on Sunday? Because obviously the turnovers are going to be something that Vic Schaefer reminds his team of. Texas up to 14 turnovers today in this game.
Yeah, you know, first half I thought wasn't good for Texas turnover-wise. I think it's been good for Texas to be able to have to play against a really solid defensive team in Oral Roberts today, a team that rotates really well. Here's the thing we talked about in the open all day long about the balance Texas has and the bench that Texas has. You see 5 players in double figures. Booker quietly with 17. She's been really efficient as well.
And the shooting, too. Talking about Taylor Jones's perfect day, but Booker 8 of 9. Shaylee Gonzalez 6 of 9 from the floor.
Texas shooting 61% from the field today.
(98-65) the Texas lead. It's under 5 minutes to go in the 4th.
Jordana Codio getting a chance in the game now.
And puts Texas at 100.
I'll tell you what, talking about efficiency, Codio is 8 for 9 this year on her shooting.
It's already the 3rd time Texas has had 100 or more points in a game this season. By the way, the last time they did that in a full campaign, 1994-95.
Well, Texas' offense has been impressive, I think, this year. And it's a testament to the balance, to the depth, the fact that that young lady has improved, I think, and has some help out there as a playmaker in Madison Booker.
ORU in the first half was held to 24 points. They are up to 43 this half with 4:20 to go in the 4th. Codio from the corner.
That is Codio's first miss on the season from 3. She was 4 for 4 coming in today's game.
Texas with 100 on the board without Hadisha Faye. Status unknown for Sunday. And then, of course, Tiana Gaston trying to work her way back on the floor.
see again, Oral Roberts getting the ball down the floor quickly. 40 minutes they push pace.
Robinson hits the three. Much like in the fourth against South Florida, Texas won 76-44. They led 62-20 after three. This fourth quarter to Texas' opponent so far. Gonzalez now 7 of 10 from the field.
I'm impressed with Gonzalez today. She's done a nice job of using change of pace, counter moves today off the dribble.
2 and a foul. Udomo gets the bucket. And I'll just echo what you said. This is impressive from ORU in the fact that they've been able to push the ball this month for 4 quarters, but also work so well together as a unit, even though there are 10 newcomers on this ORU roster overall.
Yeah, 6 transfers, 4 freshmen coming into the team this season. But here's the thing is you have, as you move forward, it's Kelly Music's 2nd season now, you start to get more players that are better in your system, that are the players that can get up and down the floor like you want, that fit your needs. And that's what she's doing right now, is rebuilding, changing the system, changing the mentality.
I imagine as Ball hits the three, team been hitting just under 50% of her threes on the year. Yeah, this team doesn't like the 6 a.m. sprints, but they love to be a part of this system. And that's been a big reason why Kelsey Music and her staff have been able to get in such a number of good D1 transfers before this campaign began. Gonzalez will go to the line. By the way, a moment ago, Taylor Jones did eclipse her career high in rebound. She's up to 16.
Well, she gets some time. She hasn't had a lot of time here in the 4th quarter, and she's taking a seat now, but she was on pace for a 2020 game. She has been so impressive here in the first 8 games of the season for Texas. Again, we talked about how she's healthy this year. She had a chance after coming off several years of consistently having injuries, getting into practice, getting into the gym, getting into the weight room, and just feels very good right now.
And continuing that point-a-minute pace, there's 27 points in 27 minutes. She'll settle for tying the record for most field goals made without a miss, 11 of 11. And mentioned the career high boards, 16 for the senior.
She gets so close to the rim and mastered really that finish at the rim.
What surprised you the most about this Texas team on their way to an 8-0 start?
I think how they've settled into playing with each other. There's a lot of new players this year for Texas as well. And if you remember last season, they had those 4 transfers come in. Gonzalez is in her 2nd year now. You look at Hattie Faye, who's in her 2nd year now at Texas as well. The gelling of the team and just the mindset, I think, of this team this year. They are on a mission that's all business.
Talking about the experience, 88% of the scoring, 94% of the rebounding back from last year. Then you add players like Madison Booker and others to what already was a good Texas group.
And if you watch Vic Schaefer have a chance to come to practice, then you can tell that he's teaching different things and has a lot more confidence in this team. He can be a little bit more complex in the things he's teaching.
All from the other corner misfires. Holly able to get the rebound, but throws it through the hands of Maul, a turnover. Talk more about what Vic Schaefer's doing differently in practice this year from last season.
I think he just has, like we talked about, more pieces to the puzzle. And, you know, I think last year with all of the injuries, you had limited personnel coming into the game. You had a lot of freshmen getting a lot of minutes. This year, he's able to add more. If you look, he's always carrying that piece of paper in his hand. I mean, he has a card of all of the plays. And even in practice, he has, you know, maybe gotten through by now maybe 50 to 60% of the plays that are on that card that he's taught the team. But he's able to just do more. Their basics and fundamentals, I think, are there more as we see Heron knock down that shot.
Tiana Heron, the freshman from DeSoto, Texas, steps onto the floor, picks up her first 2, but here commits the foul.
It's been nice to see Heron out there. We've talked a little bit about the heart surgery that she had before she entered into Kentucky after her senior year of high school and sat out at Kentucky, ended up transferring here to Texas, be a little closer to home. She played with Amina Muhammad in high school, part of that dominant DeSoto high school team, and it's good to see her out there. She's only getting like 3 or 4 minutes a game here and there, but certainly you can see the talent she has.
And how important is it also? It's tougher on average, right, when you're a freshman, but you're on a young team. A lot of times you're kind of thrown into the fire. But for the freshmen like Kara, and even Booker, who obviously plays major minutes, to be around such an experienced group, how much does that help them, especially as this season goes along?
Well, absolutely. The older group, the players that have been around really set the tone, and the younger ones can just follow. They don't have as much pressure.
By the way, I'm just impressed you heard my question with all the noise here.
It's so loud. I saw Deanna Gaston over there with her fingers in her ears again.
By the way, we will hear from Taylor Jones when we are done from the Moody Center. Longhorns on their way to their first 8-0 start in 8 seasons. It's the 2015-2016 campaign. They actually started that year 15-0, won 31 games overall before UConn knocked out Texas in the Elite Eight. Well, UConn was in the midst of their 111-game win streak when they defeated Texas in that 2016 NCAA tournament. And the team that ended the streak, Mississippi State, coached by one Vic Schaefer, a buzzer beater in the Final Four.
Well, it has to be exciting for Vic to have another chance at UConn again with a team that's more of a full team. As you see Codio knock down that triple. Texas has just really got some shooters this season.
110-74. Texas can run out the clock. A dominating performance, which we are used to seeing from this Texas team. This is 8 in a row now to begin the 2023-2024 season entry.
Yeah, well, the question really becomes is who's next, and that's UConn on Sunday. So Texas can start to think about UConn as the clock rolls down here right now. What a gritty game, though, by Oral Roberts. Came into this tough place to play and really showed a lot of heart.
Oral Roberts in the second half put up 50 points, but Texas's offense too much from the opening tip, 112-7.